Is Jordan Pickford taking the goal kick?
He played out to Maguire there.
That's into Trent Alexander-Arnold, who actually takes someone on.
He's crossed it into Kane here,
Kane has fallen over again.
but it's led to Saka on the right. He's got the ball.
Saka puts the ball in.
And there's Ben Mee arriving at the back post.
Scorpion kick!
Ben Mee has fucking scored.
Ben Mee. All right, Mr. Tiki Taka, mate, what do you want?
I'm going to go with the chicken. I reckon chicken tortilla as well.
Do you want black beans, pinto beans, and seasonal veg?
I think I'll just get black beans.
Well, I can actually use Klarna on this. Imagine paying for your food in like 3 months'
I
time.
know. I saw someone say that. There's like a tweet saying, imagine going on a night out. Your mate's like, oh, can you get this?
I know.
I'm still paying back for my wings. Like, welcome back to the Bottle Job Pods, where we are going to be dissecting each group in the lead up to the World Cup before delving into what's going on during the World Cup.
My name is Rimedi.
And I'm Toby.
And in our podcast, we have a few different mechanics on the show that we'd like to take you through. So we have 99 Potential, where we play as a scout and we discuss a kid going from, I don't know, a kid to a goat to a hero.
We got 20-second vision, where we're going to try and predict the future as best we can.
And we have Avids, the section of the podcast where we actually have a hot take that we try not to get cancelled for, but if we get cancelled, just forgive us. Okay. Episode 2.
Yeah. Bottle Job Pod. We've got Group A. First group, the host nations group.
Actually, before we start, I want to say thank you for all of the support so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty
episode
wild
1.
considering it's the first episode.
Like almost 400 followers on the TikTok page, a few followers on the Instagram page. It's been very helpful for us. So yeah, thank you so much
yeah,
for
very
that.
promising. Keep it going, guys.
Exactly. So as Toby said, Group A.
This is what we're going to be delving into on the norm.
You know, Group A of every World Cup, I think it's probably the biggest group of every World Cup because it's the one that's starting off. Like Qatar, Holland, Ecuador, Senegal. What are your thoughts on it? What are your feelings on it?
We've got some big names in there. I mean, we've got the AFCON winners in Senegal. Holland are always a team. I know they haven't been in the most recent World Cup. They had a few too many of their nation's brownies, I think. I don't know what's going on over there. But they're there, and they've got a good team. They've got some good players there. It's Van Dijk's first World Cup, which is just
crazy.
a weird stat to hear, isn't it?
You know, so the time we were recording this, Liverpool just lost to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Van Dijk got injured. For a little bit, and I was like, "Oh my god, is that him out of the World Cup again?" But no, he should be okay.
Yeah, I mean, he was sort of unlucky with those headers yesterday. He was still
Exactly
playing right.
So I think, so Holland, Senegal, I think
Ecuador was a bit of an interesting one. 2014 World Cup, they were quite the team.
It's true. Anna Valencia is now a West Ham legend, and he's Ecuadorian. They've got players like
both the Valencias.
It's true. Antonio Valencia, a Man United legend.
They're still going. I'm surprised both of them are still going, to be honest.
Do you know when Antonio Valencia signed for Man United? Wasn't it not like the biggest come down ever after Cristiano Ronaldo? Like they had Ronaldo.
That was his problem. It was that at Wigan, he was a really good player, by all means. It's the fact that, and he had the 7 shirt, didn't he?
Exactly.
It's a bit like the Obertan kind of summer that around that time. It was just Tevez and Ronaldo to Obertan and Valencia. It's not really
no disrespect. It's just a big come down.
Yeah.
But as well, I think Qatar as well. I think Qatar coming into this is all eyes on them because they even changed the start of the World Cup date from the 21st to the 20th of November.
First Winter World Cup, yeah.
Exactly. So I think Qatar are going to do well in this World Cup. I don't know if that's a hot take.
Do you?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I think it's just because there are certain elements of that team. They have a strong defense. They have tournament experience in winning the Asian Cup, which is huge in 2019. And they played in different tournaments as well, Copa America, Gold Cup last summer. So I think they have certain players that could provide to be a solution for Qatar's problems. So this is where we move on to 99 Potential. Well, my 99 Potential.
99 Potential is our version of FIFA Journeys, but, well, good.
The scout section is where we identify young players who've had a rocky road to Qatar, but they will go from kid to goat. So for my 99 Potential, I'm going to go with... I forgot his name.
Ali.
I forgot his name.
That's good.
I forgot his name. So for my 99 Potential, we're going to be going with the Qatari star man, Al-Mu'izz Ali, who is originally Sudanese, but he moved to Qatar with his family when he was young, and he now represents them. So I think with him, he had a fairly... unspectacular. I don't know what the word is. Is it unspectacular?
There you go.
See, we're having language lessons on the Bottle Job podcast. It's crazy.
Linguists.
But I know. But he had a fairly unspectacular career, but he really burst onto the scene at the 2019 Asian Cup. Now, it was being hosted in the UAE, and during that time, the UAE, the Qatar, Saudi Arabia, there was a lot of, I wouldn't say tension, but there was a lot of like passive aggressiveness between the Middle East countries. And at that time, Qatar was being blockaded against from the UAE and Saudi Arabia. So I think there was even shouts before the Asia Cup even started that Qatar won't even be able to play in that tournament. But they eventually played, and Al Mu'izz Ali really stood up for Qatar in that tournament. I think he ended up getting 8 goals, and he scored in a rout against the UAE. And it got to a point where the UAE people got so angry that they tried to tarnish his name by saying he shouldn't even be playing for Qatar. He's Sudanese. Wow. And the UAE were disappointed. They were angry, all of the above. But Al Mu'izz Ali really stood up for Qatar in a way, and he ended up getting top scorer. He's a striker where he can go in behind, he can hold up play, and he's someone that, if I was to liken him to someone, I'd probably say, who's a tall striker in the Premier League that can go in behind? That's not Haaland, but
Tony-ish.
Yeah, something like an Ivan Toney. He can pass, he can go in behind, he can create for other teammates. And I think for him, that tournament is where he really stood out as a player that can be someone that could be reckoned with on the world stage. I think Qatar also ended up playing in the Copa America. He scored a couple of goals. They played in the Gold Cup last year.
Yeah.
He scored a couple of goals. So I think for Qatar, he's really going to be the star man. I know in the 99 potential, we say he's a kid going to a GOAT, but this guy is 26. Let's be serious.
Yeah, but he's announcing himself on a world stage.
Exactly.
So it's still got that essence.
Exactly.
To it,
and scoring 9 goals in the Asian Cup in 2019 is no joke. And Al Mu'izz Ali, you are my 99 potential. Do not let me down.
I think I saw he's got 6 goals and 6 this season as well. He's already started on fire, so he's going into the World Cup, top of his game.
Exactly. Yeah, but Al Mu'izz Ali, he plays for Al Duhail, who, funny enough, he is managed by Chelsea legend. Can you guess who it is?
Who's managing out there right now?
A player that came in during Abramovich's era. He's a legend, maybe not for Chelsea, but in football.
Can I have a clue?
Long hair.
Long hair? It's not Boularus, is it?
No, before that.
Before that. Oh, mate, I'm done. Schmerton? I'm going proper niche here.
Doesn't even know his team. It's Hernan Crespo. He's the manager.
Crespo's the manager for them?
Yes, it's Hernan Crespo. He's the manager of Al Duhail. And maybe with Hernan Crespo's skills, Al Mu'izz Ali is really going to improve.
That's a striker you can learn under.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's a very niche shout. Any Al Duhail fans listening to this, please leave us a comment down below. Are you guys going to win the Qatari Stars League, or is it going to be Al Sadd as normal? So speaking of my 99 potential, Toby, who is your player that you're going to be seeing as a 99 potential?
Well, I like how niche you went, but I'm going a bit more mainstream. Ryan Gravenberch. I mean, he is a player who might not make that Holland World Cup squad because he's not playing loads of football by Munich, but he's very highly rated as a player. I mean, 2018, he was given the inaugural best youth product at Ajax, so he's clearly highly rated at the best club in Holland. He made his debut at age 16, 130 days, making him Ajax's youngest ever player over Seedorf, and that's good company to be in as a midfielder. He's a player, he can bring the ball forward, he can beat the lines, he can score a goal from outside the box, he's got that in the locker, and that's always the good mark of a good midfielder. So I think he can really announce himself on the World Cup stage. Like I said, I know he's not playing loads of football at Bayern Munich, and I feel like they've sort of bought him so no one else can buy him.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's a really talented player, and I think he can make a name for himself here next to Frankie de Jong. I think it'd be a really good partnership for Holland.
So do you think, like moving on to Holland now, do you think Frankie and Ryan Gravenberch could really be that midfield that control games for Holland and could really propel them in this group? Because even though on paper the Netherlands have a very easy group, I think they might find some difficulties. So do you think that midfield is one that they can control games, they can attack, they can defend, etc., etc.?
I think those two would be definitely more suited to a game where they're playing against like a low block. I imagine Qatar will probably sit back quite a bit if they're playing Holland. Maybe against Senegal, they might need to toughen it up a bit. I mean, they've got lots of options though, Holland. They've got Coop Miners. Their defenders-wise, it's class.
Yeah.
Like I said, you've got Van Dijk, Stefan de Vrij.
Yes.
I mean, De Ligt, I don't know if De Ligt starts. Does De Ligt start for... Because they've got Anek Fanake.
To be honest, I don't know, man. I think De Ligt is one of the most overrated centre-backs.
He's getting some big fees for a guy that when I watch him, I don't really see anything that impressive.
I think this might be my perfect segue onto the Avit section, but we'll save that for a little bit later on. But I think Matthijs de Ligt is one of the most overrated centre-backs. I think when it comes to him, I think his problem is more so controlling his body as a defender. Now, Look, I have played at no level of professional football. I just play Sunday league with my friends. But when it comes to him, I just feel that for the money that he's getting and earning, I just think
He should be better, yeah.
Yeah, and I just think there's been this tag placed on him that coming from Ajax, he knows how to play with the ball, but I think on the ball is one of his weakest traits. I think he's one of them. He's like Ruben Diaz, for example, like amazing in the box, clearing balls, headering out.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like, I don't know, like let's say someone's pressing him, I just don't think he's the best at it.
No.
So yeah,
He hasn't got that elegance on the ball like Van Dijk possesses.
exactly. So I think he will start for Holland because it's Matthijs de Ligt, but I just think maybe Stefan de Vries should be starting ahead of him.
Yeah, and I think Ake's another player who's good on the ball. There's a lot to like about that Holland squad. I mean, up top, you've got Memphis Depay, who seems to start most times, to be honest, for them. I can imagine him doing quite well. I don't know if he's going to drop any rap songs prior to the World Cup, and I know it's to delve into that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry to interrupt you. I think our food is here. So, over to you, Jeff.
Quick question though. How do you think Holland are going to do in the World Cup? Holland, how do you think Holland are going to do? Nah, not watching the World Cup. How do you think Holland are going to do? Holland? Nothing.
Ta-da! Our food is magically on the table. I have ordered myself a tortilla bowl. So is I think Toby ordered himself.
I didn't go bowl, I went rap, yeah.
Okay.
A bit more messy.
When we asked Jeff on the touchline what his thoughts on Holland,
Yeah, he didn't back them, does he?
didn't back them at all. But before the interruption with our food, we were speaking about Holland's attack. So you spoke about Memphis Depay. Funny enough, I was in Barcelona like last month watching them play. I think Depay, he scored a great goal against Elche, but I think Depay is Holland's main player because they don't really have a lot of good strikers. Wout Weghorst,
Van Persie and Van Nistelrooy days are long gone, aren't they?
long gone. Wout Weghorst,
Yeah.
Luke de Jong, Memphis Depay. Those are the three strikers that Holland have, and I just think for them that's not really gonna take them up to the next level. So it's just on Depay's shoulders. He plays in a position where he's withdrawn, so he drops in deep. He
links play very well to Depay. I do like him as a player.
Exactly, and what he's good at backing into defenders, trying to turn, run at defenders as well. Not really as quick as his days at PSV a few years ago in Manchester United, but he still has a little bit about him. We've also got Cody Gakpo, if you want to speak about.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's more like, it seems to be their goal output will be from out wide, won't it? I mean, like you said, you got Danjuma, your boy.
Man, if I speak about Danjuma, I love that guy. I even took a picture with him.
Yeah,
it'll probably be somewhere here. And yeah, I think Danjuma, I think he started the season off slowly for Villarreal. He has had a very, very long injury. But I think what's so good about Danjuma is, like Gakpo, he has he's willing to run in behind. And when you're playing with someone like Depay who likes to come in,
yeah, he can bounce off them very well.
Exactly, and speak about Gakpo as well.
Yeah, I mean, man, this guy's output. We've got this robot tearing through the Premier League at the moment. Obviously,
exactly.
He's rivaling him in terms of output. I think it's 13 goals, 11 assists already this season.
He's having a very good year. I think one of his biggest criticisms that I've seen, especially from some PSV fans, is that he goes missing in games. So against,
I saw he played Arsenal quite recently.
Yeah,
he didn't really do a lot. Did he?
And watching that game, I saw Gakpo. He really anonymous in that game. He had a couple good moments where he turned, but I just think in big moments, will he be able to rely on his club form for Holland as well? And I just think, I don't know who I'd start out of Gakpo and Danjuma. Bergwijn as well, got that 30 million move to Ajax. Yeah, he's a good player as well. But yeah, out of Danjuma and Gakpo, I think if they're both on top form, I think Danjuma starts. But Gakpo's in amazing form right now, so I think he has to start for the Netherlands.
Yeah, when you're putting up numbers like that and going into the World Cup, it's just hard to ignore, isn't it?
Speaking of wingers that are doing well on the big stage, we have to speak about Sadio Mane, and as a whole, we speak about Senegal. What do you think their chances are going to be like?
I'm not so sure. I'm a bit in the middle when it comes to Senegal, to be honest, because I'm interested in the keeper situation. You've got Mendy, who was on top of the world. This guy, really interesting story with Mendy in terms of coming from being unemployed, I think it was 5-6 years ago, working his way up in French football, and then gets signed by Chelsea, wins the Champions League in his first year, wins the Golden Glove from that year, wins the AFCON with Senegal, and since then, fallen off a cliff form-wise. Absolutely fallen off a cliff. Now displaced by Kepa. Kepa starting ahead of him. But he'll be going into that World Cup and he will be number one for Senegal. And this is his chance to kind of prove himself and let everyone know, I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still that top level keeper. I had a bit of a tough patch. So it's a real opportunity for him. Like you said, they got Mane, who's not really started. It's not set the world alight at Bayern.
I think Sadio Mane. I think his physical decline is what is the most problematic about him, because he was a player that relied so much on his strength, on his physicality,
pace. I mean,
running in behind, and not to just limit him to physical features, because I don't like when pundits do that. I think he also had a very good sense of where the goal was.
Definitely.
And playing at Liverpool, he always had that position of playing on the left wing, coming inside and taking up the space that Firmino did when he dropped in. But Sadio Mane, he's made his transition from the wing to inside.
very central these days, isn't he?
Exactly. And that's what really helped Liverpool in the second half of last season and is helping Bayern right now. But I just think Sadio Mane, he's not the same guy as he was 3 or 4 years ago.
No, but maybe he can. Yeah, a bit like Zidane in 2006. I know it didn't end very well, but he was like the last hurrah, that kind of last World Cup for my country. And a lot Senegal, you saw how much they fought in that AFCON. It could be done. I mean, Salah was going into that tournament in top form, and they nullified him completely.
Also, speaking about someone like Cheikh Kouyaté, who had a good game for.
I mean, yesterday, that run he did down the left against Liverpool, it was the Kouyaté of old, the one you saw at West Ham. It was
like West Ham running in. I really like Kouyaté at West Ham. He was a good player.
He was a good player, man.
He was a good player. I know Louis behind the camera is smiling right now, eating his burrito bowl.
Irons.
But yeah, I think him as well. Even speaking about,
got Idrissa Gueye, so a very hard-working midfield.
Exactly.
There's a lot to like about Senegal.
Koulibaly,
mate,
all centre-back.
really starting to settle in. So good on the ball, both feet. I mean, his passing's superb, Koulibaly, and we touched on him nullifying Salah within the AFCON. He was at the crux of that. I mean, the guy is he's just so strong in the tackle, but strong on the ball, comfortable when under pressure, can evade press fine, switch of play with either foot. Like, really talented centre back, and one that will definitely be trying to grind out that top spot in that World Cup.
And last point, if we speak about the out-flying winger, Ismaila Sarr, he's having a great season so far for Watford. 4 goals, 3 assists. He's going to be a player that can really, he could be a really good outlet for Senegal, because Senegal are not going to control many games. But what they do have is a group and a bunch of players that can hurt teams on the break, on the counter-attack. Mane, Ismaila Sarr, these types of players. I think Senegal could do well. For me, I think they might top the group.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. And also, I think England are in line to possibly play them, aren't they? That would be a tricky game for us.
Exactly. And the problem is with England, because Senegal's defence is so compact, England will find it hard to break them down. And England don't really have players that would. I know we're speaking about Group B here, because England are in Group B, but England don't really have players to break players down and that can find space in between the lines. Maybe Foden, maybe Saka.
Yeah.
Aside from them, not so many. I think Senegal are going to be a tough.
I don't think anyone wants them, put it that way.
No, that's a great way to put it.
But yeah, Sarr's an interesting one. It's like even this summer when Nottingham Forest signed Dennis, I kind of thought, I'm surprised no one's gone for him. I know he had a couple links here and there, but it's weird him playing in Championship football, because I thought in the Premier League last year he actually looked like a really talented player.
100%. Wow, I didn't even eat and my voice went. But if we also touch on Ecuador.
Yeah, the last team in the group that we haven't covered.
I think everyone watching this, no disrespect to our Ecuadorians, but we're not so well versed in the Ecuadorian team. But there's still some shining lights in that team. Moises Caicedo,
definitely, and they're at Brighton, aren't they? We've got Stupian and Caicedo. I mean, Caicedo,
they're having really good seasons. I think Caicedo yesterday against Man City, even though obviously Brighton lost, I think Caicedo is
there's no shame in losing to City.
Absolutely not. And Haaland.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this guy.
Moises Caicedo is a very, very good player. I think he nearly joined Man United, if you didn't know, like for 4 million last January, or 2 Januaries ago, but he ended up going.
That was a bit too smart a move for United.
Exactly.
Got to go old man, 70 million. That's more.
There you go. But yeah, Moises Caicedo, I think he's bigging up his name to be the new N'Golo Kante. That's a big shout.
That is a big shout.
But I think Moises Caicedo, he's all over the pitch. He's not so much a defensive midfielder that everyone.
No, but that's how everyone misprofiles Kante.
Exactly.
Same thing.
But I think Caicedo, he's going to be a player that, how some players, they need a tournament to really announce themselves.
Yeah.
This is going to be Moises Caicedo.
This is his James Rodriguez moment. It's mad, that, isn't it, though? The World Cup, you always get these players who just suddenly come out of absolute nowhere. Yeah. And then a big team will always pay big money, and it just never seems to work out.
Exactly. Oh my God, my voice.
I think you need your rice bowl.
You know what? I might do.
Yeah. I might get into my wrap, to be fair.
I know. This feels like a mukbang as well. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to our mukbang. Ecuador is going to be hard for them. It's gonna be hard for Ecuador. Like,
It's gonna be tough. I believe in the Valencias though. I feel like Enner Valencia still got that World Cup 2014 energy.
he does. He
and
does.
He's gonna do his thing.
That's true. Okay, so
I just can't believe Antonio Valencia's still knocking about. When I was looking into it last night.
how old is
just
he?
to get potential
36,
spots.
37?
Oh, he's got to be more than that.
Let's say 54.
Yeah, let's say he's 54. 54.
Exactly. But yeah, so with that, do you want to sort of take a feeling into how the group is going to pan out? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, all right then. Okay. Actually, yeah, let's go full ball to the wall
All right.
with our 20-second takes. Oh shit! I've dropped sauce on me. Great. That's fantastic. That. This is the part where we predict a fixture's future with the imagination of De Bruyne and the precision of Heskey.
What will the future hold with 20-second vision? So, Toby, what is going to be your prediction for Group A? What do you think is going to happen? Or do you have a fact to share with the audience for Group A?
Well, you got Senegal.
Whoa. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to press the button now.
Right, Senegal versus Holland. It's the first ever. That's fucking spicy. No, it's the first ever meeting between these two countries. They've never played football against each other, which is mad. They're going to play. Van Dijk's going to hoof it long. Van Persie's going to land from the 2014 World Cup. We went for that header against Spain. Finally lands, and he buries it with the same header. And he's going to put Holland 1-0 up against Senegal. Oh my fucking God, that's spicy. I didn't expect it. We've got these switched up, by the way. We've got the wrong wrap.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
Oh my God.
All right.
It's nice. It's just... yeah,
It's just a
lot.
bit, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay. Do you have a 20-second
Right, yeah,
vision
put
for
us
me?
down.
I'll press the button if you want.
Yeah, my hands are covered in
Yeah,
sauce,
I
mate.
know.
Okay. For you, your 20-second vision is what is going to happen for Ecuador in this World Cup?
3, 2, 1.
Bang.
Everyone's writing off Ecuador. We've just written off Ecuador. Do I sound like a hypocrite? Absolutely. Am I going to continue? 100%. Ecuador, I'm not going to finish last, but they might finish third in their group. I think something about Ecuador, you know, South American teams, they always tend to do well on the global stage. And I think Ecuador, they have a very hard-working team. And I think certain players, like I said, Moises Caicedo. Wow, I just waffled for 20 seconds. But yeah, Ecuador are not finishing last in the group. I don't know if that's a hot take. It might be a hot take. It might not.
I don't think that's unfair. I think that actually kind of segues into my habit, to be honest.
Okay, so sounds very like 1, 2, 3 with our segments.
Yeah,
but
we're already shoving them down your
I
throat
know,
there,
but
Have it! Like Sunday League left-backs, no room for nonsense, only Marmite.
these are our podcast's most outrageous takes without trying to be cancelled. Toby, what is your avid take?
I wouldn't say it's overly wacky, but in you saying Ecuador are going to finish third, that implies we're saying Qatar are going to come last. And they're the host nation. Now, I've done a bit of digging. The host nation, the lowest ever scoring host nation is 3 goals. And that was by South Africa. They are also the only team to go out in the group stage. I'm going to say that Qatar outshit South Africa and are not going to score a goal. I'm going to say Qatar are going to leave the World Cup that they are hosting with a grand total of fuck all in terms of goals, in terms of anything, in terms of points. They're going to lose every game and they're going to score no goals.
That is mad disrespectful to my guy Almoez Ali that I spoke about for
Look,
at least
mate,
2
I rate
minutes.
Ali, I rate Afif on the left wing, but when you've got players that are rated on Transfer Market of a maximum of 5 million as your best players, you're not going to do much at the World Cup. I'm going to be real with you.
No, but in the last episode, you were speaking about intangibles. You got to speak of, you know, the intangibles in this. Qatar are hosting.
I believe in Valencia and I believe in Caicedo. I think, like you said, that they're third best. I think they'll beat them too.
Okay, so that's yours. I think I've got an even more controversial take. My avid take is Holland are going to get knocked out in the round of 16.
Blimey, who have they got?
I don't know, but they will get knocked out in the round of 16. I just think Holland, the problem is with Holland is like the idea of the Netherlands team is better than what it actually is. I feel that they have a very leaky centre. They don't really have that out and out defensive midfielder. Dumfries going up, flying forward. They have Malacia on the left. The centre backs, like on FIFA, Holland are a great team, but I just don't think they mesh as well as a Spain, for example, where Spain don't really have as many players that they are like out and out world stage level.
Their
but
profiles fit together.
Exactly.
It's a better jigsaw puzzle.
Exactly. And I just think Holland, man, I just think it's just going to be curtains for Van Dijk in his first World Cup. Maybe that is controversial. All right, so from 4 to 1, who do you think is going to be like the rankings in order in Group A?
I'm going to say Senegal top the group. I'm going to say Senegal top the group with Holland in second.
And Ecuador third.
Ecuador third, and Qatar rock bottom. No goals, nothing.
You know I said Ecuador finishing third. Again, I'm being a hypocrite. I think Ecuador are going to finish bottom.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Back in alley.
I think
Or
that.
back in Senegal to top it then.
Yeah. So that means England need to finish first in their group.
Yeah. Does that mean we'll get Holland?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I don't usually back England. I'd back England to beat Holland, I think.
Think so?
I think so, yeah.
Fair enough. I don't know.
Maybe that's an Avid. I don't know if it's an Avid or not.
Maybe that's the habit for the round of 16.
Yeah,
I don't know. So there we have it. We've analysed Group A from top to bottom. Thank you for listening. We'll be out every Monday and Friday with a new episode.
Yeah, thanks guys for listening. We've got some sick guests coming up, some sick games coming up, some sick groups to analyse. So make sure to follow us on all our platforms. Thanks for listening.
I've been Rimedi.
I've been Toby, and this is the Bottle Job.
Okay, this is the Bottle Job podcast.
This is Bottle Job podcast. We're Bottle Jobbing the Bottle Job podcast outro.
I've been Rimedi.
I've been Toby,
And this is the Bottle Job podcast.